I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I'm doing this quick series of short lectures on value, the currency of life, the oligarchy, elitism, and everything Boboye joined together. You know, the Ngongo Jurejuna motto thing about life. Ngongo Jurejuna Owa. So I'm looking at the different Ngongo ingredients in Owa. That is to say, the different units of life. Number one, you must have an appetite for life. Have an appetite for the good life. Don't criticize successful people. Don't criticize the rich. Don't criticize the people who live a good life. There are things I won't do. There are things, a lifestyle I won't cultivate. But I admire the people. That was what helped me to leave the slums at Okere at Warri in Delta State. When I went to Federal Government College Warri with the children of the elite, I entered their homes. I sat in their Mercedes cars. They carried me. We ate in their houses. It created an appetite for me. I wanted to be like their fathers and my children to be like them. And I have achieved that. You see, the Bible says that 2 children were in the womb. None of them had sinned, Esau and Jacob. And God loved Jacob and hated Esau. The truth of the matter was that the word there is not hatred, as I said earlier on. The word there is preference. It's like having a Ferrari and a Toyota, and you prefer the Ferrari instead of the Toyota. Toyota is the real name of the founder of that company, and his grandchild is there. It's preferring Samsung to another phone. It's not that you hate that one to destroy it. No, it's just preference. Why did God prefer Jacob? Jacob had an appetite for life, an appetite for leadership, an appetite for dominion, an appetite for territory. And God knew beforehand that the nation of Israel that came out of Jacob is going to be a nation that will contend for nearly everything, including survival. And so, Jacob was the progenitor of the kind of nation Israel was going to become. Number one, he started fighting for space in the womb. They were conceived the same day. Started fighting for womb the same day. Inside the womb. We can have the same potentials, go to the same school, go to the same university, live in the same country. But those who have the drive and the push for leadership and excellence, for captaincy, for elitism, will eventually rule over you. And so Jacob, Esau was coming out, although he grabbed his foot. There was a struggle. There was a struggle. So, and life is a struggle. Life is a balance, whether you like it or not. Somebody is contending against you. Somebody does not like you. Whether the church in Nigeria likes it or not, there is contention. And I'm afraid of what I'm going to say next. We in southern Nigeria, if we don't take care, we might suffer what they are suffering in the north now because we are not getting prepared. The next thing is that those in the north who were moderate Muslims who took things for granted are suffering the pain of the consequences of the actions and inactions of their leadership by tolerating violence, which is not good. So, Jacob had an appetite for life. Number 2, he was a skilled negotiator. He knew that authority and power is not easily granted. You take it. Life is not turn by turn. Life is give me my own, give me my own. And you see, so when Esau came from the bush with negligence, with the spirit of the typical black man, they don't plan far. If you are hunting animals, why don't you have some dried at home? The day you don't have food, you will go there. Norway, the same oil that Norway has managed very well, where they don't have prisoners in their prisons because the citizens are well taken care of. It's the same oil we have in the South Atlantic. Norway was reinvesting the money from their oil. We were using our own to go and buy houses in the UK, buy houses in America, spending money anyhow. Somebody said money is not our problem, but how to spend it. We are paying salaries in Trinidad and Tobago. We are paying salaries in Central African Empire. After Emperor Bokassa messed up the economy of that country, now we can't pay salaries. Now we are going overseas for treatment. While other nations use their monies to develop their economies, we squandered our own to develop the economies of other people. And because we don't have value, we don't have an understanding of the management of opportunities, we are suffering in Nigeria. And that's the way it is with many African countries. The uranium you export, you don't negotiate well. Africans sign the most stupid contracts on earth. African presidents and negotiators sign the most stupid contracts on earth. In fact, it's as if when they get to Europe, their brains are suspended. That's why we need to elect people who are intelligent enough to contend and to contest with the oligarchy from other countries, from the developed, so-called developed countries. So, Jacob negotiated with Esau. Give me your birthright. And then the stupid man gave his birthright for a meal of porridge. They did not know that animals, as he was shooting the animals, killing them, they will be getting wiser and be moving further away from home, that it will progressively take him time to hunt the animals. You are working in a church. You are living in a church compound. You are driving a car bought for you. Don't you know younger pastors are going to come? Don't you know the offerings might reduce and the tithes might reduce? What are you doing with your life? How are you using your sermons? Why don't you turn them into books and turn them into CDs? How are you managing your life? Why don't you invest? It is when you reach old age you will recognize the value of having value for yourself and having value for what you have. Don't let people waste your time and your life anyhow. In fact, I'm going to be charging for consultation. If you call me on Facebook or call me on YouTube to give you counsel, to give you business sense, you will pay. Pay $10 or $20 at least for my time, for my knowledge, and for the skills I have. Because you pay to attend movies. You pay to listen to comedians. Why won't you pay to listen to a man that is going to give you wisdom? You have marital issues. I was not there when you fell in love. For me to give you wisdom on how to solve your marital issues, you need to pay, because I've also paid a price to remain married. You think divorce is not easy? It's sweet to run and go and sleep with another woman. Do you think adultery is not sweet? Adultery is sweet. The Bible says stolen water is sweet. But I've remained here with this woman despite our challenges. I've remained faithful for 37 years. It's a price. There is a price. I know it's grace, but there is a price. And to tap into that grace, to harness it, I'll create value. If I don't create value, there was one time they were calling me from all over the world, every time complain. No person was contributing to my welfare. But now, if you call, you want to consult me, you will pay. I'll give you an account, you pay $20. So that's the way it is. So Jacob negotiated and Esau gave away birthright. By the time he cried for it, he couldn't get it. Now, Jacob was, through the mother, this spirit of domination, control, leadership, oligarchy, elitism. It's the world system. It's the sociology of kingdoms. I have a tree here. Weaver birds come to remove the leaves of my coconut tree to go and build their own kingdom. That's how Europe and America have been coming to Asia, Africa, to remove our kingdom to go and build their own. That's how they exploit our resources, our oil, and every other thing to build their kingdoms. Why must we be the one that are losing? Why must the black man be the person that is losing? Why must it be the Christian that is the one that suffers? Why must it be if the nation of Israel, which is 1/10 the population of the whole of the Middle East, less than 1/10, if they were not defending themselves and their territory, they would have finished by now. Why do you think they have survived? They have known the secret of protecting, defending, and maintaining your territorial integrity and dominance. That's the way it is. If not, Iran will have consumed Israel. Hamas will have consumed Israel. If we serve the God of Israel, we must have the mentality of the God of Israel. That's the truth of the matter. The next thing was that Jacob and the mother were bold enough. They knew how to take the blessing from Esau. I won't do that, but the truth of the matter, there is always contention for your blessing, contention for your territory. Your customer used to be somebody else's customer. If you don't manage your customer well, somebody will take your customer. You don't manage your money well, somebody will buy your house. If you don't even take time, a rich man will take your wife. If you don't take time, a rich man will employ your children. They won't have time to even attend to you. I was discussing with one of my sons. He said, I'm with my boss, I'm with my boss. He doesn't do that with me. He answers phone calls when he's with me. Maybe that man is paying him better than I would have paid him in Europe, which I don't really believe, right? Because I can pay him anything they pay him in Europe, and he will live a more comfortable life. At least when he was here, he was driving a 7-seater SUV and living in a flat, a 4-bedroom flat with 5 toilets on his own. And he was a boss here. Now he's answering, my boss is with me, because that man is paying him. So that is the way it is. There's contention. God preferred Jacob to Esau, but thank God Esau later had common sense. He walked, and when he met with Jacob, he said, keep your own, I have more than enough. But listen to this. Even Jacob, though he had the grace of God with him in the house of Laban, he negotiated. Laban deceived him twice with the daughters, but he negotiated at the end. That was how his flock increased, even though they were in-laws. Relationships should not deprive you of your value. If brethren and friends and relatives don't have value for you, when you fade, they will go for an outsider. Remember, I'm still your friend, though. Dr. Charles Apoki. I'm just sharing deep secrets of the kingdom with you. Please don't be angry. I'm not very religious. God bless you, but I'm a kingdom citizen. I will see in heaven. God bless you.